Yo! Video games.
They should put Fulgore in Guilty Gear. Have a Fulgore versus Justice battle.
He practically is. Like, there's a character that's very Fulgore-y already in this game that has to, like, build pips, chat? Or is that Robokai? Yeah, Robokai's got to build pips and shit.
How many times did they have to change and dick around with Fulgore's meter?
Well, Fulgore's meter went through 3 iterations.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he went from being the hardest character in the game to super good to back to being okay, pretty good. He's always good. Back to restoring a bit of what he had before because, you know, nobody was playing him. He was always good. Fulgore was always going to be the best character in the game, but the problem is that you need the player.
Wrong button, goddamn.
Yeah, see, so I do lose all my shit. I just don't know.
So when you take damage, Steve, or you get hit, you lose all your traps?
Yeah. Like when I well, it's like what's his name? G.
G? What? He loses his presidentiality?
Yes, my presidentiality. That's exactly what I lose.
Presidentiality?
Presidentiality?
Trying to throw a super out, and it's not even a hard super, but what the fuck?
Well, G will lose it?
Yeah, G gets knocked down, he loses presidentiality.
Wow.
I haven't played Street Fighter in years.
But well, I wanted to learn G. I just never. I did play like 2 months ago.
Jesus, I'm getting rocked.
Damn, that was crazy.
Yep, that's what it naturally sets up for.
Right?
The whole reason it flips sides and shit.
Annoying to people. But he has to get this set up. If he gets rushed down, he has no anti-air, so he has to just deal with it. Actually, his anti-air is the reversal, so he has to get, like, he has to predict the attack. Yeah.
Oh, Testament getting hit loses trees, but the blood nets stay unless you hit the net itself. Okay, so you gotta remember the net's there, and then you gotta hit it, even though it's invisible. All right.
Yeah, you can beef through the nets if you use like a specific move or some shit like that. I've seen people do it like a bunch of times. But like Simmons is doing, he'll do a slide like that to get past my trees.
What the fuck?
And this man's sexy villager.
Sexy villager. Sexy demon villager.
Yeah.
Kind of is in many ways. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So there's no invisible shit, but
I just stood there. I stood there and took that hit. I don't know what I was doing.
Step.
What the fuck?
See, like, look, she activated those nets
Wow.
without getting anywhere near it, which is kind of weird.
Man.
that's tree, right? When you cut yourself?
Okay, this is tree, which you can barely see.
I don't even see what the fuck you did.
You
did something?
Like he just moved.
Right
Looks
here.
like you just went up, he like went up and down.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Okay,
like
so that's
wind.
tree. His little
tree.
cape flows a little bit.
See, at least
Wow.
the net has an animation, like blood.
Yeah, okay, so blood is him cutting himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
naturally.
tree. And then the
Characters in
actual
this game
tree,
are
there's
so
like, there's
fucking
no
cool,
animation.
dude.
Trees
I
almost
love
pop.
it that Guilty Gear influenced so many fucking games. Like, going forward, that characters don't have to all be like the same shit. They can be unique. I mean, largely, Killer Instinct is as fun as it is because games like Guilty Gear and Darkstalkers exist. They heavily inspired the gameplay designs of Killer Instinct.
Ah, my god, I couldn't wake up into super.
I wonder who she is.
I have no idea. I don't want to know after the story mode.
Every character has some sort of weird lore to them and shit.
You know what? I'm fine with just imagining what it is.
All right,
Oh.
Kenny, let's see what your Nat got. Let me see what your
Yeah.
There's Nat all over each other.
We're gonna nat.
Yeah, she's his crow. That's what it is. It's crow. She's the crow. That's all. That's all we need to know.
Go see the doggo.
That's all we need to know.
All right, then that worked for me.
Yeah, the closest thing we got to, like, yeah, Guilty Gear style characters was Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite. Some of the characters in that game are really unique. Fucking Dante, just in general, in Marvel 3 is like a Guilty Gear character.
I mean, the crazy thing about it is, like, as crazy cool as this game is, it seemed like with this generation of fighters, everyone was afraid to be like Guilty Gear because they thought it was too complicated for the, you know, for the common man, right?
There was one game that definitely argued against that.
Yeah, like, but we hear it all the time where it's like, even with Daisuke, it's like, I want people to be able to tell what's going on in the action, you know, yada yada. And I won't be honest, that's a lost cause when you have a game like when you have a game like Guilty Gear or whatever. Like, Guilty Gear is going to attract the fans it's going to attract, and you're never going to get Joe mainstream.
Yeah. Unless Goku shows up in the game.
Yeah, unless like Goku.
Unless they have like fucking random DLC characters, like.
Unless some character from some, you get fucking some character from West Wing. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's. I'd honestly, yeah, it's just a fool's errand, honestly. Like, to be honest, Guilty Gear's never going to be as big as Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or anything like that. It's just
or Cloud, yeah. That's the whole thing. That's what Smash did to pull in people over the years. Was they started Sonic and Metal Gear and fucking Solid Snake and all this shit.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Don't worry about
What's
it.
on me?
Don't worry about it.
I
No.
don't like it.
All right, fine.
I mean, I said they should put Scorpion in the game. People are like, "What the fuck? No!" And I'm like, a Arc System designed Scorpion would do way more for Guilty Gear than anything they could do on their own.
Wow.
You don't even need to put Jerry Seinfeld in the game chat. You just put a skin over Foss, and you're good. What is with airline food? And he throws up like airline food and shit.
Dogs.
This is airline food.
Kramer comes in. He's like little.
I mean, Kramer would fit more with Faust anyways, with the way he burst through the door.
Yeah. Damn. Damn.
I know there's not a lot of characters in Strive, but a really big guest character could do a lot of wonders for sales if that's all they care about.
It is truly how fighting games have to diverge from their core audience to expand, is guest characters. It is the way it works. There's one fighting game franchise that started doing it and has shown immediate success from it. And back in the day it was Soul Calibur, but now it's Netherrealm. All the Netherrealm games have these guest characters from all these crazy franchises, and well, look how good they're doing.
Yeah, so when's Negan for Guilty Gear?
That's what I was saying. They need to put like a Walking Dead character or some shit.
Let's put Negan in there. Let's do it. Fuck it. Who cares? Like, okay.
I mean, if someone's trying to argue that Tekken 7 didn't use guest characters for big sales,
Are you insane? Are you insane? The game was... Akuma is literally in the story.
Yeah.
Akuma's like in the opening movie of the game. Are you
At
insane?
this point, he doesn't even feel like a DLC character. Like,
Yeah, Akuma doesn't even feel like...
I forgot about that movie.
You forgot that Akuma was in the game and is a guest character. Because he's so naturally integrated into Tekken now. One of the most popular Capcom characters was added as a guest character.
fucking Tekken X Street Fighter felt like a giant DLC.
You would say, like, Noctis didn't do a lot, though. Yeah, but a ton of people fucking played Noctis when he came out. And it definitely appealed towards like a Final Fantasy fan base that was divergent of the usual Tekken fans. It also made a huge stink, right? Everyone talked about Noctis and Negan being in Tekken. Made a huge stink, you know? Tons of people were aware suddenly of Tekken 7.
Trending on the internet. On Twitter.
That's exactly, then, regardless of it means sales, that's what you want. More chance of sales.
Yeah, apparently Harada said that like it came down between
Chat.
Noctis and 2B for Tekken, and they decided the way they did.
They put 2B into Soul Calibur instead.
Yeah, because she was possibly going to be in Tekken. I was like, that's weird. Normally, you'd think Final Fantasy would go weapons-based fighter, but it makes sense with the way they worked it out. Like, Noctis being all, like, I don't know, designer fashion-y, I think fits in Tekken really well.
And why do you think, chat, that us as Marvel vs. Capcom fans love Marvel vs. Capcom so much? Because MVC, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, was the original guest character game. Like, suddenly you can get, and then, well, ultimately Marvel vs. Capcom, you wouldn't get things that were just X-Men or just Street Fighter. Now you get anything from Marvel, anything from Capcom. And it was like, holy crap, the free reign, like, holy shit, any Darkstalkers character, any crazy Marvel character, now Cable's in the game? What the fuck, dude? Like, that's the reason why we love those games so much.
You know,
Fighters doesn't. I think when you say Fighters doesn't need a guest character, Fighters is a guest game as a whole. It's a licensed thing. It's literally Arc System just making all the guest characters into one game. Like there are no more main characters. Dragon Ball
FighterZ is essentially just Dragon Ball All Stars.
Like, it's a licensed IP game.
You know, it's funny.
It's the point of those things is to bring in.
Companies started to catch on to that, and they started milking it, and it kind of ruined the idea of that.
When?
Street Fighter or Tekken X Street Fighter.
That didn't come out.
What do you mean it didn't come out?
Street Fighter Cross Tekken, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I got the name right. But yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, and MVCI, like they milk the idea of let's put these characters in here.
A good-looking Dragon Ball game will sell 5 million copies. Like Xenoverse proved that.
Well, I can't do down K and 2.
They just have to look good. If it's a cheap-looking Dragon Ball game, it won't do well, obviously. But like, if it's a good-looking Dragon Ball game, it will do well.
Can't believe I missed that. No! I don't like it. Oh my god, where's this blood ball? Holy shit.
What?
Nice.
Fuck me.
You're getting hit.
Like, the Dragon Ball thing doesn't make sense. What do you mean? It's a 30-year-old media franchise, mega media franchise.
Dragon Ball is like the biggest thing in the world.
Like, it's not an original IP. It's not a fighting game that created from nothing like Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I think the comparison to Dragon Ball to Guilty Gear is like super... What are you talking about? It's like the biggest thing in the world. Ah!
Like, it being a fighting game is irrelevant almost to its sales. Almost. It's a Dragon Ball game, and you get to punch, you get to fight as Dragon Ball characters, and it looks good. That's all it needed to be.
And it looks amazing, yeah.
Oh, that's bad. What about those 3D Dragon Ball games?
They do pretty well too. They do well.
Yeah. Oh! this guy?
The Maximilian Special.
Right? The walk up and grab. Who does that?
Damn, that blood thing was all the way up there? Fuck. Damn.
Golly, Testament seems like a character I would like.
Yes. You sit here and throw shit all day long.
Yeah.
Edgy characters? Oh yeah, that's right. Kenny is kind of edgy.
You don't need to act this for Dragon Ball. It is its own thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The game is a guest project already. Like Namco does not make Dragon Ball on their own. Arc System does not make Dragon Ball on their own. It is a product of Shueisha.
No.
And
No.
Toriyama.
No.
Yeah, the
Speaking of
tree hit. If the tree hits you,
And
you're
Toho.
near slowly, and then I can do whatever in the air.
Speaking of guests, they just need to just throw that power level shit out the door and add Hercule or Mr. Satan.
Yeah, Mr. Satan, I want to see him. I want to see him in there.
They need to throw all that bullshit. Oh, you know, how he fight. Who gives a fuck? That's high. You know,
Well, I mean, they specifically said they were never going to add Mr. Satan, and I don't know why.
because of the power levels. Because it wouldn't make sense. Because, oh,
You have fucking,
I don't give a fuck.
You still have the lower guys. What are they-
Yamcha and
Yamcha.
Tien.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, Yamcha can go. Yeah, Videl.
Where's Jam? Is she in there?
Top left.
Top left.
Yeah, throw power levels out the windows. Who gives a fuck?
Jam's cool. I should try to learn Jam.
You know? Mr. Satan
She's
can
a
use
lot, but
capsules
She's all over the place.
and grenades and, like, oh, he can have a jetpack and shit.
They already put Roshi in there.
Yeah. And then Roshi doesn't have a vanish, though. But he makes up for it in playing by differently. You know, that's what makes Marvel vs. Capcom and like, so great. Of course, if they wanted to keep it based off comic book power levels, you know, some characters would absolutely get wrecked.
But yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ, the reason it sold so well is because it looks as good as it does, and it's Dragon Ball, right? If it was a smaller anime franchise, if it was anything but Dragon Ball, it would not have sold nearly as well as it did.
Even if it looked as good.
Even if it looked as good, like give me like any other anime that is
like
as big as
Bleach.
Dragon Ball. Yeah, like if it was, and a Bleach fighting game would still do really well because Bleach
Yeah.
is huge. But you gotta understand the level of reach that Dragon Ball has.
Or
Naruto,
yeah,
One Piece, that shit's huge. Like, don't tell me that shit isn't fucking huge. Give me something that's like smaller. And does that have a chance? That's what you have to start thinking of, like, for these games, like in comparison. Yeah, if Berserk got a fighting game, it'd be pretty big, but would it be as big as Dragon Ball? No. Berserk is very big, right? Very, very influential show. But does it have, like, the casual reach that something like Dragon Ball has? Hell no. No, it would be really fucking dope. It'd be super dope.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball's been around for, you know, 30.
Dude, that's a great example.
now
Grand Blue
30
Fantasy
plus years.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is fucking huge in some places in the world, right? Especially in like Asian territories in Japan. Grand Blue Fantasy is a giant franchise. But did it manage to absolutely blow up like Grand Blue as a fighting game? No. No, it has its own core audience similar to anime games like this one. But did it explode Dragon Ball levels? Hell no.
You know what it would have to be? Dragon Ball would have to share the spotlight and add these other animes in there.
Something like that, yeah.
Hey, Dragon Ball versus Naruto, that would be.
You gotta get one of those Jump Force type games, but actually made by Arc System Works.
Yes.
That'd be incredible. But the
That
problem
would
is,
that would blow dicks off.
those Shonen All-Stars games are made by one company, and those bitches have been making the same shit for like 15 years.
They have a monopoly on it.
They have a monopoly on it, yeah.
Like if Shonen thing was made by Arc System, it'd be over. You would have it would potentially be bigger than Dragon Ball.
I fall right into it. Goddamn.
Yeah, nothing's as Dragon Ball is one of the biggest franchises in human existence.
Yes.
Like it's and the fact that Arc System Works, you know, treated the game with love, care, and like proper representation of the shows and the source material made people love it even more. So of course it fucking sold. Like they did truly good by that shit. They did the exact opposite that MVCI was, which was like not to really look interesting or better than the things that the characters came from.
Yeah.
Played well, but it didn't matter.
You can ask like any of your IRL friends that are not like big anime people. Do you know what Dragon Ball is? Yes. You ask them, do you know what Bleach is? No. I mean, the thing I clean my clothes with? What's Berserk? Maybe they might know Naruto, but they've never watched it. They just heard about it. But 95% of people you ask on the street will know what Dragon Ball is.
A Disney fighting game? Well, I mean, that would be big, but a Disney fighting game doesn't have the impact of Dragon Ball, because what do Dragon Ball characters do? They fucking fight, right? And Dragon Ball has not had the luxury of ever having a proper, like, 2D or team-based sort of fighting game that works the way Dragon Ball FighterZ does. So that's also pretty damn unique, where DBFZ is a game that's, like, largely designed to be like a Capcom game, but it's made by Arc System Works. You know? It was pretty fucking clear that a lot of the gameplay design was taken from existing Versus games. And that's not a bad thing, it was good. It actually lit a fire under Capcom to realize that, oh shit, we can't get lazy with shit like we did with MVCI. So, I mean, that's great! Like, for a lot of people, that was a big fucking deal. I don't know if you noticed, chat, but any of the big Marvel players, the really big Marvel players from before, all jumped ship to Dragon Ball FighterZ because it was the big Versus game. So, Dragon Ball FighterZ is pretty unique in so many regards. Not just gameplay and visuals and it coming from a giant existing franchise.
I couldn't get it.
But also,
Dude,
it's like
so
a perfect
hard to,
storm.
Like, mash out on this fucking D-pad. Couldn't get it to come out. Fuck.
Super.
Yeah. Even if it's just a double fireball, like mashing on this fucking potato of a D-pad.
You use the Xbox.
Dragon Ball isn't the biggest anime out there. Tell me a bigger anime than Dragon Ball. I'll wait. Yeah, tell me a bigger anime than Dragon Ball that reaches the scope and scale and history of fucking Dragon Ball. Pokemon? Chat, Pokemon is from the late 90s.
You lose, chat.
Pokemon's the closest thing, but nothing.
Pokemon's the closest thing, but it's mostly not just the anime that it came from. It's like, Pokemon has a lot of other, like, game history.
Yeah, it's more of a game. Like, Dragon Ball is an anime.
Sailor Moon? You think Sailor Moon's bigger than Dragon Ball? You think One Piece is bigger than Dragon Ball?
No.
Oh, chat, you're drunk.
I think One Piece sold more in manga, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe in Japan, but you're not going
unless you live...
You're not going to South America and seeing an entire town gather in their plaza to watch the Dragon Ball Super
this is the comparison we have to put in, yeah, like to watch the Jiren battle, like, right?
Yeah.
And
Nobody's
then cheer
doing that
illegally
for One Piece in South America.
I'm not saying that we're not saying that One Piece isn't as big. We're not saying that One Piece isn't big, but in comparison to the world scope of Dragon Ball, I would disagree.
As far as worldwide reach goes, nothing's bigger than Dragon Ball, anime-wise.
I'll use my points. Oh, I was going the wrong way. Okay, that was disrespectful.
Akira and Ghibli? Ghibli is niche by comparison.
For hipsters.
An absolute weird hipster movies.
Yeah. Gundam's been around a while, but it's not bigger than Dragon Ball. It's never been bigger than Dragon Ball worldwide.
What all this is boiling down to is this is the reason why Dragon Ball FighterZ sold as well as it did. Like, this is the reason why the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games sell as good as they do. Dragon Ball's fucking huge.
What?
He's beefing through her.
What?
She's got a little Ryoko color scheme going on here.
Nah, her hair's not blue.
Not blue.
It's gray. It's gray.
Yeah, it's like a grayish. It's a grayish blue. Ryoko.
Yeah, I think that the closest in terms of like representation in the world, like I've barely seen anything on Naruto, but I know a lot about Naruto.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
I know they
I
do
just
a hand
don't.
sign.
I've known about like Gaara and fucking Naruto and characters from that show, but I've never fucking seen it.
They do jitsus.
They know Buji no Jutsu.
Bushino Butsu.
Wow.
I don't know and I don't care. It works. I'll take it.
I think crunchy peanut butter is bigger than Dragon Ball.
What?
Yeah.
I did my super too. I don't even know what she was doing. She did the super, like she did the rev up instead of the super. Good shit.
Dude, Dragon Ball is like damn near like Marvel levels.
Yes, absolutely.
I should use my pro.
You'd say it's the Marvel of Japan?
Yes,
Yeah, basically.
absolutely,
There you go.
absolutely. And not just the Marvel as in like the comic books, no, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the big shit, you know?
Yeah, the hot boys. So overrated? Yes. Goku was to be a Japan Olympics spokesperson.
Fuck, I found my color.
Say
Whoa.
what now?
I got wine color.
Sounds about right.
Right? Like, how does he... You know what? That makes sense. Oh, that power up. Sonic the Hedgehog hosting the Olympics? Never heard of that.
Astro Boy's the biggest? Yeah, maybe 1965.
Got him, Simmons. Oh, that man died.
Grandpa, about 50 years have passed since it was the biggest anime. Come on.
Tch.
Oh, here's her box.
Holy shit.
Speed Racer's pretty big. Not as big as
No,
that.
it's not, dude. Speed Racer's fucking... Speed Racer's big.
It's big-ish.
Where the fuck have you been, Hurtbox? Steve
been
talked
afraid of me.
all.
You've been running.
Steve talked all good kinds of good shit. I think we should.
I would never say anything negative.
I think we
about
should. I think we should invite Hurtbox.
it. Nah, not at all.
Yeah, let's invite him into the lobby, Steve. Let's see if you duck him.
Yeah, I mean, I never would say anything negative about her box. I mean, you can, but, you know, I think it's time for me to go anyway, because I have things to do.
Oh my god, holy shit. Man, Order Soul's just, oh, so crazy.
I agree. Batman Fighters would say. As a matter of fact, fucking Injustice 1 was literally Batman Fighter. Like, there were so many Batman characters in Injustice 1.
There were.
Like, you could make a Batman Fighter. It would be legit. Like, hands down.
There's your little Batman and friends, yeah.
Yeah, Batman and Friends. He has so many fucking villains and allies in the series that you don't really need the other characters. You don't need the other, like, Justice characters.
That's the problem with DC in general. They have Batman, and then people know
everyone else.
People know Superman, but they don't really care about him that
No,
much.
because he doesn't. Why? Because he doesn't have that many interesting villains. He doesn't, except for Darkseid or maybe a Maze. Not Maze. What was the guy? Brainiac. And,
Yeah, Brainiac sucks.
Brainiac sucks. I mean, he's the
Boring.
character. But okay, so I would say Darkseid or like the two most interesting villains that he has.
Luther's great if he's done right. not when he's like essentially feeding old white senators Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah. He can't be bad. He can't be. What was it? Wrong.
Wrong. That
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.